Hey guys, it's Shannon. I am continuing my series of videos that is showing you the goodies that I have from my whirlwind of a trip to New York City. And so today I'm kind of focusing on the accessories and clothing that I needed, that I picked up for the trip. So this video is going to be a little bit long because I want to kind of explain to you kind of why I made the choices that I made and sort of give you a little bit of information about what was happening during the trip too, just so you kind of have an idea of some of the things that we did, and you know how the clothes sort of fit into that. So this will be a little bit of a longer video, and then I'm gonna actually split this video and have another video that I will show in the next few days, where I'm going to cover kind of the extra souvenir sort of things that I picked up for myself, and so there is going to be more videos to follow, and then again I still have to do swatches and things for you guys. So there's a couple more videos to come in this series, but this one is going to be the majority of kind of the makeup and accessories, and kind of will give you sort of the bulk of the explanation of kind of what we did on our whirlwind of a trip. The first thing is that whenever I go on a trip, you know, we're always trying to downsize how much we need to take as far as luggage goes, right? And so one of the things that I like to do when I'm going on a short trip, usually not any longer than 2 to 3 night stays, but I will always get some makeup wipes. And so I needed to order some of the Mark Make It Go Away makeup removing wipes to take. And, you know, of course I use these at night to take my makeup off. And for me, this cuts down on needing my eye makeup remover and cotton balls to go with the eye makeup remover. I don't need my face wash. I don't need to worry about washcloths to use with the face wash. I don't need to take my toner, and I don't need more cotton balls to go with the toner. So it cuts down on quite a few products for me if I have this. I don't keep these around the house all the time though, unless I know that I'm doing makeup on somebody for, you know, a wedding or to get some pictures taken or what have you. Because it's really easy to get lazy when you have these around. It's really easy when you're tired at night to be like, oh, I'll just use the wipes and, you know, not do my normal regimen. And it really isn't good for you. I mean, these really don't clean your face, no matter what brand you use. These are my Holy Grail brand, but no matter what brand you use, they really don't clean your face as well as, you know, using all of the products in conjunction the way they're meant to be used. And, you know, you don't get all the added benefits that are going to be in your treatment products, you know, like products for lines and wrinkles and products for dark spots and, you know, all of that type of thing. So this is something that I just do if it's going to be a short trip. If it's much longer than about 3 days, then I will just take everything with me. But this was going to be, you know, it's just a 3-night stay. So I went ahead and ordered some of these. And the next thing, I really don't travel by plane that often. So generally when I'm doing it, it's some kind of, you know, special trip or whatever. And I decided I needed to get some, you know, luggage tags. My luggage, I have a really nice set of luggage that was given to me as a gift. But, you know, each bag they're all black. So, you know, they blend into every other black bag, and it can be hard to kind of find your luggage when it's going around on that thing. So, I went ahead and ordered these from my website. They have a set of 2 luggage tags, and the first one looks like this. They're so cute. This high heel, and it's actually kind of like a giraffe print, really, I think. And then this little handbag. And because they're nice and orange and an interesting pattern, it makes it easy to see them right away. And along with these comes a luggage scale, and I actually needed this too. And it is fancy too. Because, I mean, we all know that the restrictions on planes has gotten ridiculous as far as weight for your luggage, and so I just didn't want to chance it. I mean, you can always like set your luggage on your regular scale at home, but I don't use a regular scale at home. And so these kind of came around just at the right time, and so I went ahead and ordered these. And then along with those, because I knew I was really going to only have one luggage tag on my bag, and my suitcase is a pretty big suitcase, I kind of felt like there was a chance that that wouldn't necessarily catch my eye right off, so I wanted a little bit more to add to it. And so they also have this set that comes together. The first thing is this little, it's just basically like a pad that you put over the handle of you know, of your suitcase, and so I put this over the sort of side handle, just so that I would have something kind of on multiple sides. And then it also comes with this strap, which you can put around the luggage. I didn't use this one this time. You know, it's just basically a round strap, so it literally just goes around your whole suitcase, so you can see it very easily. Now, as I was doing my clothes shopping, there were a few things that I had in mind that I knew that I might possibly decide to pick up, and one of those things was a handbag. I didn't really want to take a carry-on with me if I didn't have to, and I was lucky that I ended up not having to. But at the same time, I knew that my bags that I have are either too small or not secure enough for what I needed. And what I was looking for was, I needed something that I knew that I could carry around that I felt was secure, that was big enough that I actually had intentions to carry extra pairs of shoes around with me, because we didn't really know exactly what was going to be happening. And so I knew I needed walking shoes that were warm enough because it was wintertime in New York, but at the same time I knew I wanted to have a pair of like dressier shoes, like high heels, with me, you know, just in case, or once we got inside I could, you know, change into the nicer shoes. So I knew I needed a bag that was big enough that would not only carry, you know, extra pairs of shoes, but I also had a little like blazer jacket that I thought I might need to kind of roll up and throw in there and carry with me just in case. And I knew I was going to need some you know, space for souvenirs and things to bring back with me, and just any other kind of incidentals that might pop up. So I knew I needed a bag that was pretty big in size, but I also wanted it to be secure. And I have some bags that are big, but they only have snap closure, and so I was really looking one for a zip with a zipper. And so while I was at Kohl's doing my clothes shopping, I found this bag, which is from 9 & Company. And so as you can see, it's a nice big tote bag. And what I liked about it was, number one, it does have a zipper at the top, and then number two, it has a nice, you know, kind of strong, sort of solid bottom that keeps its shape. And that's what I wanted, because I knew if I had shoes and that kind of stuff in there, those were going to be heavy, and I didn't want a bag that the bottom would be sagging, or that would be getting damaged from the inside because of a pointy high heel or carrying around too much stuff in it, that kind of thing. So I really scored with this bag, because I found it for like $13 and some change on clearance. And the good thing about it was, I knew I was going to be wearing a lot of black, because since we didn't really know exactly what we were doing or how it was going to go, I knew I needed a lot of things that I could mix and match easily, so I could either dress them up or dress them, you know, down, and give myself options. And so I kind of went with black as sort of the base color that I could build on and add color on top of. So it went with, you know, the black with all of my clothes, but that at the same time, my winter coat is like a tan. My long winter coat, like my dress coat, is kind of like a tan sort of wool, a nice light, very light, sort of beigeish brown color. And so at the same time, it went with my coat as well, because of the sort of, you know, bronzy gold print on it. So anyway, this was a pretty nice score for not a lot of money. Now, while I'm showing you bags, the very first day that we were there, the first activity sort of that we did, that was a planned activity, was sort of like a marketing and sales meeting. And during that meeting, the 4 of us that are the regional winners were presented with this bag. And this is just one of the large, you know, Avon tote bags. It says, "Be beautiful, successful you, Avon." And I mean, this is a really big tote bag. I'm not gonna like tip it all the way because I have a few things down in there. But nice lining, couple large pockets. You know, it's divided in the middle, so there's plenty of room for pretty much anything. And this was actually nice, because on the way back, I had, you know, more souvenirs, and I had to be careful about the weight on my bag on the way back. And so I was able to tuck things down in this, and my original tote bag actually, you know, the purse that I got actually fit kind of nestled down in one half of this perfectly too, and I was able to throw some a couple pairs of jeans on the other half and carry this still as a handbag, because it's really just kind of the right size and still fit underneath the seat, so I didn't have to worry about having to check either of the bags because they sort of fit together nicely. So that was a score. And then I'm just going to, this is just a little notebook that they gave us, and they gave us a pin too that says Avon Makeup Maven, so we could keep all of our notes and things. So that is down in there. Now, one of the big things that I knew that I needed, they sent us kind of a layout of what the activities were going to be sort of in general, and they just gave us for everything sort of the basic dress code of business casual. But at the same time, we knew that we were going to be in New York City, which could require, you know, a lot of walking around. We knew that we were going to be kind of moving from one activity to another, which might have required some walking. We knew for sure that we were going to go to the Research and Development Center, which we knew was going to require walking, and we also knew that it required closed-toed shoes. And we didn't really know for sure necessarily whether all of our activities, you know, during each day were going to be in the same location at some of the times. Sometimes we knew that we would be going from one place to another, and other times, you know, we kind of weren't exactly sure. So I knew I needed basically flat shoes that were comfortable for walking. And I am short. I do not have flat shoes, especially like closed-toed, dressy flat shoes. I mean, I have some flip-flops and some sandals and things that are flat, but for business wear, I just don't have flat shoes. Mostly that's because pants never fit. Pants are always too long. It's not that I have a problem with flat shoes, it's just that pants are always too long, and so when you have an extra inch or two down around the ankles and you're too lazy and don't want to spend the money to have everything tailored all the time, you just buy high heels to wear with them, and that takes care of the problem. So I knew I needed flat shoes, and so I went to DSW and I found these, which are by the brand Me Too. And they're just kind of a cute little ballet flat. They're a little dressier than some that are available. You know, to me, a ballet flat really isn't a dressy shoe. It's kind of a nicer casual shoe. So, but really the deciding factor for me on picking these were that these are pretty darn squishy, you know, on the inside. And that was really the whole reason that I was buying flat shoes, was just for the sake of comfortable walking. So I thought, well, if I'm buying these to be comfortable for walking, I'm going to buy the pair that is the most comfortable. And so that's what I did. And, you know, they're still a nice shoe. They have this nice silver hardware at the top. And so these worked out really well, and they fit really nicely in, you know, my handbag too, if I was changing out shoes while I was there. Because there were times where we were going to take pictures, or where we weren't going to be walking anywhere, we were just in a room, and so I would change my shoes and put on my my high heels that are what I would normally wear, and what to me are a little more dressy and a little more appropriate for, you know, business or business casual. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the heels that I took. I actually did buy a pair of heels as well, because the black high heels that I have are really an extremely uncomfortable pair of shoes, and I knew that they just would not be a good idea to take for this trip, since I really didn't know exactly what we were doing and how everything was going to go. So at DSW I found this pair of Sam and Libby heels, and they're nice because they have sort of this kind of a muted patent feel here, and then they're textured back here. And so these are the heels that I took with me. These are size 7, in case you're wondering. Also too, I can tell you there's a lot of vanity sizing going on with shoes lately. I'm normally a 7.5 or an 8. I've always really been like a 7.5. But anyway, so you might want to go down like a half a size if you're ordering these online or something. Now, the first day that we were there, once we got to the hotel, all of our activities for that day were basically in the hotel. And because I knew that I was going to be wearing flat shoes, I needed to buy pants that actually fit me properly in the leg length for wearing a flat shoe. All of my pants are long. All of my shoes are high. That's just kind of how it goes. And so I was really worried about whether I was going to be able to find any pants or not. So when you're trying to find a pant that you know is really hard to find, it can be a little stressful. So I went through everything that I knew was on the agenda, and I knew that if I wasn't able to find pants, then I knew that the best day for me to, wear a skirt or a dress was going to be on the first day, because I didn't know exactly how the activities were going to work out, but I at least knew that they were all more than likely going to be within the same vicinity of themselves. And then once we were done with all of our planned activities, I could change into, jeans and a nice top and, put on comfortable boots or whatever to go walk around in New York City. So that's what ended up happening. I was lucky that I was able to find 2 pairs of pants that did fit me with flat shoes on. But I was only able to find 2, and so I ended up having to get 1 skirt. So the bulk of my shopping that I did was from Cato, and all of these pieces are from Cato. My family members were really supportive with me on this trip, and they everybody wanted to kind of help me get ready and all that kind of thing. So, my dad gave me some money to use toward the trip, and he had given me a couple of gift cards at Christmas time to use towards the trip. And my mom loves to shop, and so this was a good, excuse to go shopping. And so she likes to go to Cato, so we went there, and she, got items for me. So this first outfit basically starts with this cute little top from Cato, and this is kind of like a wrap style top. If the colors aren't showing up, this is like a nice bright grass green with navy blue and kind of a cerulean blue and white and some sort of silvery gray, sprinkled in. So anyway, it's just a nice wrap top, and it is, though, short sleeve. Everything basically right now is, obviously short sleeved because all the spring stuff is out. Bathing suits show up right after New Year's, and so everything was spring, and so I needed to be able to stay warm. I was going to be in New York in February, in the middle of winter, and so I needed something to wear over it. And so I found this nice long sweater. This is like a drape top, so it kind of drapes down the sides, and so it's just a nice sweater to sort of throw over anything you're wearing for a little extra warmth or some layering action. And the blue goes really nicely with the blues in the top. Now, this is where I didn't have any more pants, and the way that the outfits kind of worked out, this ended up being the outfit where I was going to end up needing to wear a skirt. They actually had a skirt that matched this color exactly, which is the one I really actually wanted. But the problem was that along the bottom was curling up, and I believe the reason it was curling up is because at some point the threads down there have been snapped. So somebody stretched the bottom too far or something and snapped the threads, and it was causing it to curl. So I had to get the exact same skirt, I just had to get it in black. And it's just a nice bandaged style skirt. You can see the detailing here, because this will mix and match with a lot more things nicely. But if you're shopping at your Cato's, that kind of tone-on-tone look, the monochromatic look would be really nice with just this, with this color just going on in the top underneath. The second day was the day that we were going first to the Research and Development Center, and that was going to take the entire day. And it took about, I don't know, an hour or so to get there too. We had to travel through New Jersey, and so this needed to be a nice outfit, but I knew I was going to need to be wearing my comfortable flat shoes, and so I needed, the flat pants to be comfortable. And at the same time, though, once we were done with the Research and Development facility, in the early evening, we were going back into Manhattan. We were going to the headquarters building, Avon's headquarters building, and we were having cocktails there with, all of the bigwigs, the CEO and a lot of very interesting people. And while we were there, they have a little store in there where employees can buy products at, you know, half off pricing. So a lot of people were taking advantage of that as well. So that was kind of fun. So I knew that I needed it to be something that was going to be comfortable for the research and development facility, that I could walk around in, you know, this large facility comfortably and look nice and professional, but it needed to be dressy enough that I could then have cocktails in the evening with the CEO of Avon, this huge international company. So while I was at Cato's, I found this really cute accordion style top. And they have this in pink also, and I really debated about the pink because I really liked the pop of color. But the design on this, the way that it is very elongating for the torso. It makes your torso look very long, especially when it's underneath something and you just get the pattern kind of as a strip down the middle of your torso. And hopefully you can tell, but it's kind of this accordion pleated action going on here. So I wore this, but again, it is short-sleeved, and so I needed something to stay warm. So I found another top, which is a little more casual than the first one, but I knew I wanted, you know, I needed something different for every day. So this is still nice, but just a tiny bit more casual than the other one. And basically, it's a sweater, just like very similar to the first one that I showed you, with sleeves, just kind of a throw-on, you know, sweater. The reason it's a little more casual is because it's kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to see there, you can kind of see. It's sort of like it kind of reminds me of long johns, like a really dressy version of a long john type material. But it has some ruching here on the arms, if you can see, like on both sides. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that because it's black. Well, there you can see it. It's on each side. It's on this side and this side, so you get some nice kind of ruching, some detail sort of at the base of the arms, and that gives you some control too. Like if you wanted to kind of scrunch the sleeves up, you could, which I didn't, and I wanted it dressier. But anyway, because this is all solid black with this underneath, it was kind of a nice elongating look and nice and dressy. And then I needed the pants that fit me right at the ankles, so that I could wear them with flats. And so this pair is actually from Walmart. I found these at Walmart. You know, it's just their George line, and it says that it's a Barcelona fit on the inside, if that helps you at all. But it's just a nice pair of you know, black dress pants. It does have kind of like sewn back pockets, which these are faux pockets. They're not real pockets, but it gives you a little detail kind of on the back side. Sorry, these are wrinkled. They just came out of my suitcase. And it's got a nice wide leg, so that can be, you know, a nice straight leg is very slimming and elongating as well. And elongating is nice when you're wearing flat shoes, because I feel when I have dressy clothes on top but flat shoes on the bottom, makes me feel kind of stubby, you know, makes me, yeah, you know what I mean. So having the nice kind of straight leg like that just makes you feel a little bit taller. I should also mention, by the way, that I did also pick up like a couple pairs of tights and a couple extra pairs of black dress socks. I'm not going to show you those because that's really boring, I think. But just so you know, Walmart and Kohl's both are having a lot of clearance of those types of items. So if you are in need of, you know, those like trouser socks or black dress socks or tights or any of that sort of thing, go check both of those places, because they're doing a lot of clearance of their winter things. Okay, so the third day was kind of the really difficult day, because the four of us regional winners, we got an extra night stay longer than everybody else did. So we knew we had a couple meetings early in the morning, or earlier in the day, and then everybody else was starting their journeys home. But the four of us were staying, and they had a special event you know, planned for us, and we didn't know what that was. All they told us about it was to dress business casual again for all of it. I think all four of us sort of felt like whatever we were doing in the evening, whatever our surprise event was going to be, that I think we all kind of felt like we wanted to be a little dressier than business casual, but we just really didn't know what to do. You know, we didn't know if we would be walking anywhere. We didn't know what the activities were going to be. We didn't know if there was multiple locations. We didn't know anything. So I started the day off with, you know, we had some meetings in the morning, just some trainings on social media and some other things like that. So for that, I knew that I could dress, you know, I knew that business casual would be okay for that. And I also knew that we were probably going to have a little bit of time to kind of get refreshed in between that and later. And so, of course, since I really didn't know, I had extra clothes with me. I had extra things that I could mix and match, or that I could, you know, throw or carry in my bag just in case I needed it, or, you know, whatever. So what I decided to do was, I had purchased this blazer. I actually got this in Walmart. And for a couple of reasons. Number one, because black and white is really on trend for spring, and I really liked it. Number two, I also, and I'm just going to show you this really quick. It's got nice buttons down the front. It also has pockets on the front. Nice, you can see the princess seaming here. On the back, it's got nice seaming down the middle of the back. Let's see. And it comes down here to, you know, tails here where it splits. But then you can also see that it has like extra seaming, let's see, here. So just kind of, you know, small stripes cannot always be that flattering sometimes. And, you know, black and white is kind of a lot. And so it's nice that they have a lot of really nice seaming so that you really get good shape with this. So, you know, when I was shopping around and I really just didn't know what I needed, and I was just trying to sort it all out and figure it out and make sure I had enough to cover everything. When I saw this, I thought, well, this would be a really good item that I could wear over something that was really dressy to kind of tone it down a little bit and make it a little more business casual, but then I could take it off, and because it's this nice soft material, I could take it off and crumple it up and throw it in my bag, and if I needed it later, I could pull it out and it would still be, you know, not wrinkled and that kind of thing. So it was really on trend for the season, and it would travel really well, and you know, I could use it for multiple uses. I could use it for casual if I wanted to, like if we just all decided to go to dinner at a restaurant somewhere in the evening, and you know, I just wanted to throw it over something to tone it down so I could be a little more casual, or just to stay warm, or whatever. So picked this up from Walmart, and I just decided to wear it with one of the extra outfits that I threw in, or one of the extra tops that I threw in, just in case, because since I didn't know what we would all decide to do in the evenings, or where we would decide to go, or, you know, the possibilities were endless on what we might decide we wanted to do. I had a lot of different kind of, you know, levels of casual and dressy clothes just for the evenings for our fun activities when we were free. So this was one of the tops that I had thrown in that I've had for a long time. So I'm not going to talk about this for, you know, very long, but just to give you an idea. And, you know, I had a cami underneath it. So I decided to go ahead and wear this because I knew that this was dressy enough for business casual. And I actually did pair these two together, and I know that if you are my age, you're freaking out just like I do, because I'm still not quite okay with the fact that you can wear like prints with prints these days, but you know, you can. So it's hard for me to do, and it was hard for me that day. I even told my roommate, I'm like, you know, I still just can't get used to the fact that you can do this, but you can, and I did. So I paired these two together. You know, this is short sleeve, so this was, you know, to keep me warm and kind of tie it all together. And then this is a pair of pants that I also purchased because I needed pants that would fit me with my flat shoes. And these I got from Haute. And these are just a nice, simple, you know, single button front with, these are real pockets. They're not very deep pockets, but they are sewn shut, and I usually just leave them shut because it keeps things from bagging. And then here on the back, these are faux pockets. It's really just a flap with a button on it sewn on to give it some detail. So these are also another pair of pretty much a nice wide leg, or almost a straight leg. It has a little bit of tapering kind of right at the knee, but it wasn't enough to really, you have to be careful when something is wide and then thin at the knee and then wide again at the bottom, because it can make you look very short and stumpy. Generally when we wear that style, it's like a flare leg or a boot cut leg, and we're usually wearing them with high heels, and it's longer than your actual leg is. You know, it covers the heel as well, and so that's where you get your length back from. So it's just one of those things that you need to be careful when you're going to be, you know, flat and it's going to come just to your ankle or the floor, that you don't want to start looking like a crazy shaped ice cream cone or anything like that. It can really make you look short and stubby. So I had to be careful about that, but these weren't too bad with it. And honestly, I'm not in a position to be too picky about it because, like I said, it's really hard for me to find, you know, pants that fit right to the, you know, right to the floor, and the leg length is right for me. So they had a few other pairs, but these were really kind of the ones that fit the best, and that really had that straight leg style that I was looking for. Because again, you have to remember that I knew that there was a possibility that I was going to change out of the flat shoes and put the high heels on, and so I needed, it needed to be a flattering leg style for both the flat heels and the high heels. Now, on the third day, while we were in our social media training, some of the girls came and pulled the 4 regional winners out, myself and the 3 other girls out, kind of during the middle of that training. And they had a special surprise for us. So they took us into another room. We walked into this room, and they had a photo shoot set up for us. So they had professional hair and makeup. They had a bunch of you know, clothes for us to throw on, and, you know, a professional photographer there, and we had a photo shoot. So they had, you know, obviously Avon clothing, Avon brands clothing for us to put on for the photo shoot. And so this was the dress that I ended up wearing for the photo shoot, and it's this really pretty tank style cowl neck dress. It has a little seaming here, so if you wanted to belt it, you could. That goes all the way down. It's about, you know, it's about knee length, and it does have this this tie that you can tie around the waist. And so this was the dress that I put on, and you know, we had a bunch of things to kind of choose from and whatever, and so I just picked this up and I went into the bathroom and tried it on first, and when I came out, they loved it, and they were like, oh my gosh, that dress looks so good on you, you are taking that home with you. And so I got to take the dress. And then because it has a nice cowl neck, you know, we wanted to go simple with jewelry, and so my makeup was like a smoky plum, like purpley smoky eye. And so these are the earrings that they had me wear, and they let me have those as well. And all of us got to take, you know, some or all of what we had on home with us. Obviously these are available, you know, on my website too if you have an interest in them. So that was really fun, and you know, not something that you get to do every day, and it was kind of like a whirlwind sort of little adventure in the middle of our day, so that was very exciting. Okay, so in the evening I told you guys we had our surprise activity for the 4 winners, and by this time everybody else had already left and were on their way home. And our surprise activity was we went to a really nice Italian restaurant for dinner, and then we got to go to a Broadway show. We got to go see Newsies. And so that was very exciting. So I knew that I wanted to kind of, they still gave us the business casual dress code, obviously, but I knew I wanted to be a little bit dressier. And so I wore the same pants that I had worn earlier in the day. But from Cato, when I was shopping, I knew I was looking for something that had a little more bling or a little more excitement. And so I found this tank top, which is like a sparkly, sequined tank top. And so it's got gold and silver and black, sequins everywhere. So I wore this, but again, it's another tank top, so again, it's short sleeved, so I needed something to wear over it. So I got another sweater, which this is exactly the same as the blue one. The only difference is it's black. So I just threw this over the top. And we did walk there. We walked to the restaurant, and then we walked, a couple more blocks to the theater. But then they had a car pick us up. I think they were they were tired at the end of the night, so they had a car pick us up and take us back to the hotel. So we didn't have to walk then, but obviously I had, my heels in my purse, and I wore the flats for the walking. So that's the end of the clothes and the jewelry. My next video is going to show you kind of everything that's left over. I have a couple of souvenirs that I got from the Broadway show, and then just some makeup shopping that I did while I was in New York, because there were stores there that were really close within walking distance, since we were staying in Times Square, that I just don't have access to here, and so I just picked up some things, or I have access to it, but I would have to order online or drive further than I'm interested in driving to just get to a counter. So that's what you're going to see in the next video, along with also a couple little goodies that my co-makeup maven that we shared the hotel room together kind of brought for me, which was fun. So I'm going to show you those, and I think that will pretty much be it. So stay tuned for that next video to kind of, for the most part, wrap things up on a lot of my New York trip. Following that, I'm going to have some videos with swatches of products that people requested from my last video. So stay tuned for that. I've not forgotten, and if you have more requests from that, let me know, because I'll be filming that, very soon. And I think that's it, so I will see you next time. Bye.